Yale University is a private co-ed institution of higher education in New Haven, Connecticut, the third oldest institution of its kind in the United States, and a member of the Ivy League, which is a group of 8 highly competitive, traditional Eastern schools. Yale University offers courses leading to Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science degrees. Highly selective, Yale accepts about 19% of all applicants, of whom about 56% actually enroll. Yale University has a policy called need-blind admissions, which is a process that lends no weight to an applicant's financial circumstances, which ensures that Yale will be available to all students from a wide cross-section of the country. Yale does not offer academic or athletic scholarships. However, more than half of all undergraduates qualified to receive financial assistance in the form of grants, low-interest educational loans, and term-time employment.
I'm at Yale University in the Economics Lounge, and I'm interviewing Megan McCarthy, who is an economics undergrad student. She's going to be in her junior year. And Megan, could you tell me a little bit about your program here and what it's like to be a student at Yale?
I really enjoyed the time that I've had at Yale. The economics department is a very excellent program here. And I've actually just declared my major during my sophomore year. You don't have to declare until the end of your sophomore year. But it's been great, and I've mainly been taking the introductory courses up to now. But they have a ton of really, really good courses.
I'm talking to Donald Brown. He is the Director of Undergraduate Studies, and that's in economics.
Yes.
And can you tell me a little bit about your job here at the school?
Well, we are now one of the largest majors at Yale College. We now have some 300 majors, and the Director of Undergraduate Studies has the responsibility of talking to all sophomores, juniors, and seniors about their course of study, advising them as to what courses makes the most sense given their intellectual aspirations, and also any student who's not an economics major who wishes to transfer an economics course has to, in fact, have that course approved by myself and attest that this course is equivalent to what they would have gotten had they taken this course at Yale.
And I'm talking to Margaret Dahl, the Director of Admissions, and thank you for seeing us today. Can you tell me what you look for when you're screening for students in the admissions process?
Well, I think it's fair to say that the applicant pool at Yale is so self-selective to begin with that the vast majority of students are very well qualified. Our first consideration does have to be academic credentials because we are very much an academic institution. We look very seriously at the transcript, not just rank in class, but also how a student got there, what courses they've taken, how tough they've been, how much have they taken advantage of what has been available to them, which means if they're at a school that has limited opportunities, we don't expect them to be taking 9 AP courses which may not be available, but have they done as much as they could with what was available to them? And likewise, if they're at a very strong school with all sorts of academic opportunities, we will be looking for signs that they've really utilized those. Most of the students who are admitted to Yale are in the top 10% of their class or even the top 5% of their class, but that's not a very meaningful figure if you're talking about very small schools and with small numbers of seniors and whatnot. Beyond the academic credentials, we really pay a lot of attention to the personal side of the application. So many students have good test scores and good grades applying to Yale that we, to sort through and finally select our class, we look an awful lot at what students do with their time, what their passions are, what their interests are, their talents, how they express themselves, what they're like as people in communities. You know, all of those, the personal side of the application is every bit as important as the academic, but the academic has to come first.
Is Yale involved in community service, and is that one of the things you're looking for in students' backgrounds?
We're tremendously involved in community service in New Haven, but I don't think it would be fair to say that we look for that. We really look for anything that a student is excited about. And there are so many students who do community service in high school that we see a lot of applicants who have done it. By itself, just seeing a community service activity doesn't necessarily do any more or less for a student than if we see music or 4-H club or serious Girl Scouts or frankly working a job or having tremendous family responsibilities. It's really, you know, what are they doing and what are they interested in doing, or what has life forced them to do. I think the students who are from large families with working parents don't necessarily choose to look after all their siblings, but it's something that we acknowledge as a very time-consuming pursuit.
How is the financial aid here at Yale?
It's based totally on financial need, as it is on at all of the Ivy League schools, and there is no merit aid, no athletic scholarships, music scholarships, nice people scholarships, or anything like that. It's based totally on demonstrated need. The admissions process is need blind, meaning we don't pay attention to whether students have applied for aid or not, with the exception of foreign nationals who are not citizens of the United States, and that's the only group of applicants for whom we have to be what's called need sensitive, which means as we are making our admissions decisions, we have to take into account the fact that somebody will need a lot of money, small amount of money, no money, whatever. But with other than foreign nationals, financial aid is literally not even discussed within the admissions committee room. So first we admit students without regard to their ability to pay. If they are going to be admitted, we analyze their level of need and then meet 100% of that demonstrated need with the financial aid policy here.
What are some of the major programs that students take at the school?
The most popular major is history. It is not the most popular among applicants. It's one of those majors that is so good that it just sucks people from other majors. Among the incoming students, undecided is the most popular declared major. History is the biggest. Economics and English usually tie for second. Among the sciences, biology is the largest, probably because there are a lot of pre-med students mixed in with the research-oriented people. After that, within sciences, it's probably engineering when you add up all the different engineering programs. But there even are some very strong majors that are very, very small. They still have great faculty, but there aren't that many students who actually choose to major in them. But history is always the biggest major.
Yale University, with its history and tradition deeply entrenched in our nation's history, features prominent graduates, including writer Noah Webster, inventor of the cotton gin Eli Whitney, patriot Nathan Hale, U.S. Presidents William Howard Taft and George Bush. Noted Yale Law School grads include President Bill Clinton, Hillary Rodham Clinton, former President Gerald R. Ford, and Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, to name a few. Yale University, a distinguished institution for higher learning.